p.m. And the Board of Public Health, Town of Cohasset, has a Zoom meeting. The Zoom meeting this Tuesday, August 12th, 2025 at 6 p.m. is a virtual meeting. Members of the public are invited to join the meeting from a PC, Mac, iPhone, iPad, and numerous other ways. As per Massachusetts law, all virtual meetings will have roll call votes. It is being recorded. We'll have a call to order. Those who are present, Marcia.
Marcia Lewis here.
Mary Goodwin.
Very good one here.
Paul Schubert here. And the meeting is in order. On the agenda looks like there are 3 sewer upgrades and or proposals and design plans, and there's 1 tobacco violation. We'll start off with the 261 Beechwood Street Septic Design Plan, Germat Technology, credit approvals, and Morse Engineering, I believe is here, isn't they're here?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, so just identify yourself, the parcel that you'll be representing, and the floor is yours.
Great. Thank you. For the record, my name's Gregory Morse. I'm a registered engineer, Morse Engineering, representing 261 Beechwood Street and the property owner, Linda Graves. This is a septic system upgrade project. The existing home is a 3-bedroom home. It has failed a Title V inspection, and they're looking to replace the septic system. The new septic system would be located in the backyard. It consists of a 1,500-gallon septic tank, a 1,000-gallon pump chamber, and then a geomat soil absorption system. The design itself fully complies with Title V and Cohasset requirements for setbacks and sizing, but what puts us before you is seeking a local upgrade approval for the use of a sieve analysis in lieu of the PERC test. On the day we went out to do the soil testing, we had Barbara Thissell with us, the new witness for the town of Cohasset, and the soil was simply too wet to conduct a PERC test. But we took a sieve, got the results back, and sized everything accordingly. I'm going to turn it over for questions or comments, but it's a Title V DEP compliant system repair of a 3-bedroom home.
Okay, thank you. Any comments from the board?
Nope.
No comments.
Okay. So this is kind of one of the more standard septic upgrades or replacements that we've seen. Sieve analysis versus a PERC. Oftentimes you'll have a wet soil, and that's where you need to review it with a sieve analysis. So they're requesting this as a design as proposed. I would ask for a motion per 310 CMR 15.405 1I to approve the use of a sieve analysis where a standard PERC test could not be performed due to high groundwater in the pervious layer of soil. Is there a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion per 310 CMR 15.4051I to approve the use of a sieve analysis where a standard percolation test could not be performed due to high groundwater in the pervious layer of soil.
At 261 Beechwood.
At 261 Beechwood Street.
Oh, okay, great. Is there a second?
Second.
And a roll call vote. All those in favor? Marcia?
Marcia Lewis, aye.
Mary?
Mary Goodwin, aye.
Paul Schubert, aye. There are no nay votes, and the motion passes unanimously. Thank you. And the next one up.
Hang on one second. You get to just vote to approve the plan now. So you did the local upgrade.
You're right.
approval. You just
Okay.
approve the
I'd ask
plan.
for a motion to approve the septic design plan prepared for 261 Beechwood Street, Cohasset, Mass, as presented 2025. Is there a motion?
Sure, I'll make the motion to approve the septic system design plan prepared for 261 Beechwood Street, Cohasset, Massachusetts, dated 6/27/2025.
Is there a second?
Second,
And a vote? Marcia,
Marcia Lewis, I.
Mary,
Mary Goodwin, I.
and Paul Schubert, aye. The motion to approve the plan passes unanimously, no nay votes. Yeah, it would be difficult to just approve the sieve and then the plans left in the air. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Um,
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Next up is the 460 King Street septic design plan, variance and local upgrade approvals, Merrill Engineering and Land Surveyors. And I believe we have someone from Murray Engineering and Land Surveyors.
Yes, Brendan Sullivan with Merrill Engineers and Land Surveyors here, representing the owner, applicant Lynn Sheridan at 460 King Street. Okay, you did pull the plan up for me. Okay, great. So this is a septic repair, was actually approved by this board back in 2009, 2010. Was never constructed. So with the current owner selling the property, they need to install the system. So we've been in front of conservation. It's a 4-bedroom system. New septic tank, pump chamber, pumping to a pressure dose field. Perk tests were done, performed. And like I said, we've been to conservation for the proximity to the wetlands. This is a wetland that's associated with the surface water drinking supply. So this setback is 100 feet. We are just over 50 feet from the setback. So a number of the waivers we're looking for is the setback to the bordering vegetated wetland for the septic tank. I'm sorry, for the pump chamber, which is 10.6. It's supposed to be 100 because really we haven't really no other place to put it. This is where the plumbing comes out of the building for the septic tank and the pump chamber. And as I said, the setback, the minimum setback for a bordering vegetated wetland bordering surface water supply required is 100 feet. We're proposing 50.8. We are also have a setback request for surface and subsurface drains was discharged to surface water supply, which is required 100 feet, proposed is 91 feet. That's from the septic field here to a catch basin out in Schofield Road. And the last one is a local upgrade. So those are all Title V variance requests. There's one local upgrade request, which is a setback required of 10 feet to the property line. We're proposing 5.1, just to kind of tuck the system up here, up into the slope, utilizing the test pits. And so that gets the proximity of the field to the street line. Like I said, we've been in front of conservation. They've issued an order of conditions for the project. With that, I'll take questions from the board.
Great, thank you. Any comments from the board?
No questions.
Nope.
Okay. The only question I have is, the setback is not very far. Is there like a review in like a year, just a testing, just to make sure that it's okay? Or is that in the conservation?
I'm sorry, what was the
Aspect.
question? Like,
Yeah, the setback is close to the water. So is there a future testing of the groundwater beyond that from the Conservation Commission point of view?
no, the wetlands are the wetlands. They are what they are. So we had the wetlands reflagged. Really hasn't changed from before.
Okay. So it's the same as the previous
No, there will be
design.
required obviously an as-built once it's constructed, and a certificate of compliance issued from conservation to make sure that it was built properly and the setbacks were maintained to the wetland.
Okay, so that's through them then. Okay.
Yes. Yep. And obviously you
Okay.
guys will require an as-built as well.
Yeah.
For a certificate of compliance.
Great. So if there's no further questions, then For the 460 King Street, there'll be a series of motions. I'd ask for a motion for the 310 CMR 15.211 to approve a setback requirement reduction for the septic tank pump chamber. Is there a motion?
Mary, you want to do these?
I don't have the
Oh, okay.
the,
Okay,
uh,
I'll
the
read them now.
script. Yeah,
Okay. Okay, I'll make a motion per 310 CMR 15.211 to approve a setback requirement reduction from the septic tank pump chamber to the bordering vegetative wetland from 100 feet to 10.6 feet.
Is there a second?
second.
Roll call vote. Mary Goodwin,
Mary Goodwin, aye.
Marcia Lewis,
Marcia Lewis, aye.
Paul Schubert, aye. Motion passes unanimously. I'll get the next one up for you.
Okay.
I make a motion per 310 CMR 15.211 to approve a setback requirement reduction from the SAS to the bordering vegetative wetlands from 100 feet to 50.8 feet. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And no comments, we'll go to roll call vote. Marcia,
Marcia Lewis, aye.
Mary
Mary
Goodwin,
Goodwin, aye.
Paul Schubert, aye. And the motion passes unanimously. Third one up, I will make a motion per 310 CMR 15.211 to approve the setback requirement reduction from the surface or subsurface drains which drain to the wetlands from the SAS from 100 feet to 91 feet. Is there a second?
Second.
And as for a vote, roll call vote, Mary,
Mary Goodwin, aye.
Marcia Lewis,
Marcia Lewis, aye.
Paul Schubert, aye, and that passes unanimously. Marcia, you want to do the next one?
There are two more, I believe.
Yeah.
I'll do the next one, sure. I'll make a motion per 310 CMR 15.4051A to approve a setback requirement reduction from the property line to the SAS from 10 feet to 5.1 feet.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call vote, Mary Goodwin,
Mary Goodwin, aye.
Marcia Lewis,
Marcia Lewis, aye.
Paul Schubert, aye, and the motion passes unanimously, no nay votes. I'll take the next motion. I make a motion to approve the septic system upgrade plan prepared for 460 King Street in Cohasset, Massachusetts, dated 6/24/2009, revised 8/7/2025 as presented. Is there a second?
I'll
Second.
2 seconds.
2 seconds. And roll call vote. Mary
Mary Goodwin, aye.
and Marcia
Marcia Lewis, aye.
and Paul Schubert, aye. The motion passes unanimously. I
Great,
think that's
thank-
all of them, right?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Great. So next up, I think we have there's a tobacco violations, which we'll kind of go through quickly here. A little bit of background. That's one of the things under the Board of Health tobacco violations. So they have to be of age to purchase in town for tobacco products. And it looks like there were a couple of tobacco violations. So I'll turn it over to Pam. I think we have Chief Quigley here as well.
Well, we
So-
actually have Kathleen Mahoney here. Kathleen is our
Oh,
our
okay,
tobacco
great. So-
inspector.
Great. So I'll turn over to Kathleen.
Well, what exactly are we discussing tonight, Pam? Because it's not a hearing yet. Have they
No,
got
s-
notices?
So,
Let me know what
I-
you want me to talk about.
oh, sure. So I thought you could just explain, what happened, how you do the compliance checks, and Mary Lou's and the barrel both sold to a minor.
Yep.
And then the first time offense is automatic $1,000 fine. But you were saying also that the board it's up to their discretion to determine how long we should suspend their permit for.
Right.
and they have an
so-
option. Go ahead, you take it
Right.
from there.
So yes, I did compliance checks, and unfortunately, both Mary Lou's and the barrel sold to my youth. Both of them are, I think, Marlboro Select and Marlboro Red. There's certain things on the report that, like, if it's a hearing, I'll go into more detail. But they did ask for one place. Mary Lou's did not ask for an ID. The other place did, and she said, no, my youth can't lie, and they still allowed the sale to happen. So what I'm here to talk to you guys about is, with the state law, with the sale to a person under 21, it's mandatory up to 30 days suspension. And it could be, different days. But what I want to let you guys know is, like, usually the first time offense is $1,000 fine, and then 2,000, then 5,000. So normally with the towns, I do this for 9 other towns. It's up to you guys what you want to do. I'm not saying maybe in the future we can change the regulation and have it in the regulation, but it's a first time offense, so it has to be 1 to 30 days suspension. Normally it's around average 1 to 3 days for the first offense, but it is the law, so it kind of makes it easier for you guys. And what I definitely suggest is, once you make a decision on one place, it has to be consistent with every other one, so you don't open up the town of Cohasset for a possible lawsuit. So to be consistent, absolutely, you have to decide what you want to do. So if tonight you say, okay, well, again, both of them still have a chance to appeal in a hearing, but it is a law that you have to implement the fine and you have to implement a suspension. So, but please
Okay.
let me know what questions you have. I know it's a lot.
Okay, thank you. So I think this is the first violation we've seen for tobacco, at least since I'm on the board. And there may have been one before I showed up. I think it was 1 or 2 meetings before I showed up. Yeah, this is mass law. The Commonwealth has that discretion for how long to suspend their permit. But it does start off with $1,000. So
Yeah.
I'll open it up to the board as far as we're required by law for the $1,000 fine, which will be implemented. But I wanted to kind of hear from the board about how long do you think would be reasonable, 1 to 30 days?
Well, I would say let's go with what Kathleen suggested is the case for other towns with the 1 to 3 day for the first offense.
Because I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Pam, what do you have for in your regulations for the second violation already? I think so. Is it 7 days or?
Yeah, I have the regulations in front of
Okay,
me.
what's the
This-
second?
The
one,
second
Mary.
one is 7 consecutive business days.
So I'm not telling you guys what to do, but I would do in between that. And then in the future, if you want, Sarah and I can come to a meeting and we can update the regulations, but you have to do something, and normally it's between 1 and 3 days. But
Okay.
again, it's up to you. And you have 7 for the second one that's already in your regulations. So that makes it really easy. If I'm hoping there's not going to be another violation, because that's my goal. But if there's a second one, it's already in your regulations with 7. So
Okay. Mary, what do you think as far as,
I was gonna say I agree with the 1 to 3. Probably 3 days is reasonable for the first offense. Have we issued these before, Pam? In your time?
No, we haven't.
All right. Yeah, I would go with 3 days.
Marcia, is 3 okay?
Yep, sounds good.
So it's less than the 7, which is the mandatory second violation. So I think 3 is probably reasonable as well. 3 consecutive business days. So I'd ask for a motion to I think we need to be consistent and equitable and equal to the two violations. So I think for both the Barrel and Mary Lou's would ask for a motion for a 3-day suspension of the tobacco sale permit. And it would be 3 successive business days. Is there a motion?
Yep, I'll make a motion to suspend the tobacco permits for Mary Lou's and the Barrel for 3 consecutive business days beginning August. We didn't choose a date. I just realized.
Yes, and that's another thing is Pam will send out the notification to them, and then I would suggest giving them a couple of weeks to possibly appeal or ask for a hearing, and then maybe put the suspension in September just to give them that time. That way it's not crazy. And then definitely let me know what dates you pick, but I would probably push for September. Just to give them, as I said, so they have the chance
Okay.
to actually have a hearing if they need to be, or if they want. They might not, but
Okay, then maybe you could withdraw the motion and redo it for early September. Would that work?
Yep. Can we
So
make the
then-
motion without specifying the exact date, or should we include the exact date?
You need the exact date. Yeah,
Okay, let me just look at a calendar here.
yeah. I'm doing the same.
Okay, so
Um,
what did we say?
So 3 consecutive, you could do September 3, 4, 5. That would be the first week in September after Labor Day.
Okay, sounds good. All right,
Maybe
so,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3, 4, 5.
yep. Okay, I'll repeat
So
the
you can just-
motion then.
Just add that to the motion then, I guess.
I got it. So I'll make a motion to suspend the tobacco permits for Mary Lou's and the Barrel for 3 consecutive business days, beginning September 3rd and ending September 5th of this year.
Is there a second?
Second,
And roll call vote. Mary Goodwin,
Mary Goodwin, aye.
Marcia Lewis,
Marcia Lewis, aye.
Paul Schubert, aye. And the motion passes unanimously. There is an automatic $1,000 fine for each of the establishments per Mass state law. Thank you.
So,
I think the first one that I've come across, I know there were violations before, but I'm not certain there were long before I was on this, and I think it was when I was on the school committee, because I think that came up with the school committee. That's going back probably 10 years or maybe 15.
So I'll mail out the letters tomorrow with $1,000 fine and the suspension, and then in the letter, it will say that they have a right to a hearing. And it gives so many days for them to appeal, and then we'll see what happens. But the letters will go out tomorrow.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Kathleen.
And next up, we'll go back to the so there is a further septic upgrade and design on 135 King Street. It's an alternative design. Flow Places Associate Incorporated is presenting. Bill is Chief Quigley's here. Did you want to say something?
Oh, no, I was just, I didn't know. I'm having flashbacks to our COVID Zoom calls every morning. It's the same crew. Hi, Mary.
Yes.
Hi, Kim.
Bill, how
Hello.
are you?
Chief.
Bill Murray is here to represent the town. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll turn it over to Bill Murray, Places Associates. Just identify yourself and the location parcel that you're representing.
Sure. William Murray from Places Associates. We're talking about 135 King Street and a lot across the street. I tend to make things a little difficult and complicated, so I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. There's a lot to my presentation. So Pam, can I share screen and
Yeah.
I have a short PowerPoint to keep me on target and to hopefully give you as much information as I can.
Did you see that? Did you get it?
I did. Yep. How
Okay,
about
great.
you? Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, why is it not on PowerPoint? There we go. Okay, so again, William Murray from Places Associates. With me tonight is Paula Claridge, who's a registered architect, the project's architect from HKT Architects, and Chief Quigley, who's a big proponent of the project, is here to answer operational questions with regard to the proposed public safety facility. Come on. No, there we go. So we are looking for 4 separate approvals from the Board of Health. The first is approval of the design flow from the facility for 682 gallons per day. And we submitted an application to DEP for a reduced flow and an alternative design flow because, and that's allowed by 310 CMR 15.2.03 parens 6. And the reason we did that is while we're still using Title V derived flows, the flows that are listed in Title V really don't accommodate a public safety facility. And so we did a multi-page presentation, which included colored layouts of the building showing flow generation and showing where certain flows were generating from. For an example, in the fire station, there are 2 bedrooms, but by contract, you're not allowed to have more than 1 fire station employee in a bunk room, a single bunk room. So here again, it's not like a bedroom in a house. You're not allowed to have 2 bunks in that room. So we divide those into 2 and cut those flows down. Similarly, Title V gives us flows for apparatus bays, but an apparatus bay or a truck bay, if you will, applies to something like a commercial garage where there's a mechanic working on it. Well, we already have bunk rooms for the people that are working in the fire station. So adding flows from an apparatus room doesn't make sense. And then we go on to describe in great detail in that application, which the board was copied on, how we derive the 282 gallons per day. We did submit that to DEP, and DEP sent us a formal response to say no permit required, essentially leaving that decision up to the Board of Health. So then moving on, what we're also looking for is approval to utilize the existing leach field and septic tank as they exist today. The board has a passing Title V inspection for this system, which was done, I believe, in November of last year. So the system that exists out there today was a repair that was done in 1997. And it consists of a 5,000 gallon septic tank with an outlet filter. And then you have a singular leach bed, 61 feet by 31 feet, which has a rated capacity of 1,600 gallons per day, and it passed Title V. So the reason we're in front of you is we did supplemental soil testing out on that hill and around that septic system, and I'm a DEP certified soil evaluator, and I determined that the soils on that site would not support a septic system. We attempted an informal perk test, and we abandoned it as it was running 40 minutes an inch, and it was never going to pass. It was going to go over 60 minutes an inch. So the soils out there are very clay-based. Groundwater, both on the hill in front of the building and on the hill in front of the building, is pretty uniformly between 3 and 4 feet. So we have an incredibly bad soil. We have very tight soils, which are clay-based. And we have shallow depths to groundwater. So the facility next to us, which is the proposed self-storage place, found sand and gravel down around 30 feet. And we did borings for the building to see if we could find sand and gravel down around 30 feet. Maybe we could do what they did. But we couldn't find it. We found this very dense, tight till. So I told the building committee, we really cannot get an expansion area on this site. So as I had said, the existing system was a repair. So there is no expansion area shown on that original plan. And because we're modifying the existing building, and I'll get into what we're doing to that in a minute, we need an expansion area by Title V. So in order to make this project work, we need approval to utilize the existing leach field, and it has a passing Title V inspection. So then I get to number 3, which is the approval to use a separate site for the expansion area. There's a site diagonally across the street, and I have a graphic for that, that the town owns. And we did, in fact, through coordinating with the Conservation Commission, we went out, the wetlands were delineated, and we dug test holes. Ms. Fahey was present to observe the test holes, and they were formally logged by me as a DEP soil evaluator. And we had adequate soils, and we ran a perk test, and we had a 10-minute perk test. So it worked. And we have topography, we have property line, and we have wetlands on that site. So we have submitted to you a separate site showing an expansion area across the street on a town-owned property. And I've reviewed your regulations, and your regulations, nor does Title V, say that it has to be located on the same site, but it does have to be under the same control. And then finally, and I know this is a lot, I apologize, it all comes together. We did submit a semi-feasibility study in our narrative to you, indicating that connection to the existing sanitary sewer isn't feasible per the requirements of your regulations. So we spoke with Brian Joyce, the DPW director and town engineer, about connecting to sanitary sewer, and he encouraged us not to attempt it. And there are many reasons for that. One is that you are at your limitation. He has very little excess capacity, as I'm sure you probably know, in that treatment plant. Number 2, in order to get to the closest sewer manhole, it's 1,800 to 2,000 feet uphill towards the Stop and Shop. And the road in front of the site is Route 3A, which is controlled by Mass DOT, which would require us to put a pipe in a road controlled by Mass DOT. While that's possible, it will take a year or more of permitting through the Mass DOT in order to just allow a pipe. And then the town gets into the question of putting a municipally owned sewer line across properties that are not currently served by sewer. And that may create additional headaches to the town, because it would be, a sewer line that was installed by the town connecting to municipal sewer. And the question as to whether other people would have the right to connect to that force main, started to get into the weeds pretty heavily. So we're asking for acknowledgement that a connection to the existing sanitary sewer isn't feasible. And then the final nail on the coffin was that 6-inch rainstorm that you all had, which evidenced that the existing wastewater treatment plant really does not have excess capacity. So, Mr. Chairman, I will try and keep this short. As I said, it's sort of complicated. I have quite a few slides. I'll go through them rather quickly, but if anybody has any questions, please stop me. I can go back, and of course, at the end of the presentation, we can talk about any detailed responses that we may have.
So a quick question. So the accessory septic is on the same side of the street as the building would be. Is that correct?
It is not. It's across the street by Sanctuary Pond Road.
So it's across 3A?
Yeah, it's across 3A. Downhill from, well, I know where Mary Lou's is.
Yeah.
I haven't already
So
talked
do you have the
Is it-
same problem putting a sewer line under the 3A?
We would, but so here's the rub on that one. The the code requires that we have an expansion area. And because we're expanding the building, I just don't understand why my slides aren't moving. The code requires, because we're expanding the footprint of the building, a repair septic system won't work. We must have an expansion area. So we have proven that we have space for the expansion area, but I think it probably would be highly unlikely that if this existing septic system fails, that you would go across the street and utilize that area, though you could technically get to it. We would do what's known as directionally drilling. So we would physically drill under Route 3A and under the adjacent wetlands and actually come up right outside of where the leach field would be, and it would be a pump system. It would require DEP's approval, but we've done that. We've done it for public water lines, and DEP loves this directional drilling because we're down 20, 30 feet below the road. We're below everybody's utilities, and you never know, you don't even see that it's there.
Okay, thanks.
Just a quick exterior rendering of the building. Can you see my arrow? Yes, okay. So the existing building is this blue-gray all the way through to the end of the brick here. That's the existing office building, and town is currently using the first floor. On the left side will be the Cohasset Fire Substation, and what will be in here is an ambulance and a fire truck, and it will have 2 bunk rooms and office space, which are primarily located on the first floor. The rest of the building from this point over to the right, which is also to the north, will be the police department. So the police department will occupy all of the first floor, all of the second floor. There's a little mezzanine on the 3rd floor, which will be used by the town for a different purpose. You see 3 garage doors. The first garage door is what's known as a sally port. And what a sally port is a secure prisoner transfer location. So that garage is only used for taking detainees in a cruiser. The door is closed. The officer puts his weapon into a locked box, a vault, and then he takes the person out of the cruiser and into the processing area so that that person cannot escape once they're, inside the building. The other 2 are fleet garages. They're used for search and seizure. They're used for cleaning a vehicle out. They're used for mundane aspects of the police department. And then behind the garage, and I'll show you the floor plan, will be the prisoner processing area. And then there's other administrative space on the back side of the building. So here's the architect's isometric or 3D view of the building. Again, this is the front of the building, the garages, the main front entry, the fire station here. This is the back, and what we have is we have a driveway coming around to a new parking lot in the back, which will only be available to the police department. So it's a secure entry for the police department. Over here on top of what would be the fire substation is a lot of mechanical spaces. It's heating, ventilation, air conditioning, fire sprinkler, all those kind of things. This is the 2nd floor of the police station. And the 2nd floor that I said that, there are other police station operations going on here, and the mezzanine occurs up there. And of course, we have the architect, so if you have specific questions, Paula can answer those. So here again is the front of the building, and then just sides so that you can see that. Here's our first floor plan. This is the fire department. So we have the bunk rooms, we have lockers, we have washing stations, we have a day room, we have a triage front entry room, and then the apparatus space. The whiter area, that's all the first floor of the police station. Here's the sally port, the 2 fleet garages, and then behind the fleet garages, pretty much built into the hill, are the cells in the prisoner processing area. So this area in gray and this area in gray are additions to the existing building. This is the second floor. You can see this area in gray. That's all mechanical space that's pretty much above the fire station. Then we have operations and executive suite and all that on the second floor. And this addition over here, open to the vehicle bays, but these are various processing and uses for the police department that the chief can get into or the architect can address. So there is an existing third floor in the existing building with two very small rooms accessed by a set of stairs. And they'll be used for the town data center, which will be located here. So it's a very secure space on the third floor of the building. Very quick site design. This is Route 3A. This is the existing driveway. And we put the fire station straight on so that a fire truck or an ambulance can come straight out and out onto the road. Because police cars are typically dispatched from the road and they are cars, not trucks. That's why the police station is located over here. So public parking is here. There will be raised islands here. This is then a secure area, a driveway, and parking for the police department to the rear. So this is on the second floor, this is on the first floor, and Route 3A is about 15 feet lower than the first floor of the building. So now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of the existing septic system, and I am trying to go as fast as I can. This is the existing septic tank, and this is the existing leach field, and they are proposed to remain. The only change will be we'll fix the vent that comes off that leach field. We will have a septic line that comes like this. It comes to a manhole, then goes into the septic tank. So the septic line from the fire station comes outside of the building, comes to a manhole, goes into the septic tank. The septic line serving all of the police station comes out of the garage bay into a manhole, into the existing septic tank and into that leach field. So that's where this leach field is in relationship to the rest of the site. And what we specified is that during construction, they will put steel plates on that leach field to protect it during all phases of construction. The leach field is currently located substantially underneath the paved parking lot. Then this is the reserve area. So Sanctuary Pond Road is here. We have a locus, but I have a better map that'll show you where this is in just a minute. So what would happen is we would literally drill to a point somewhere here, and the force main would connect to the leach field that's located over here. So these long semicircular symbols are test pits. Our percolation test was there. We got 10 minutes an inch. It's really good soil out here with a lot of rocks and boulders. So this is probably the better. This is our site right here. This will be the self-storage place. This is what I know to be Avalon, but it's got a different name now. This is the site that the town owns. Sanctuary Pond Road is here. So here's the fire stage, the existing 135 King Street. And this corner is where that leach field is proposed. Almost all of this in between is wetlands. So we would drill from here all the way to there to get a sewer line if it was going to ever happen. And I say that, and I presented it this way to the Conservation Commission. I really don't think that this expansion area will ever be built. I think it's a paper chase. We need to, per the code, provide an expansion area. If in a decade or 20 years that existing septic system fails, then, and if I were the engineer of record, we would recommend that it be repaired in place, that you rejuvenate it in place, or maybe in 15 or 20 years and the septic system fails, maybe then it's time to connect to an upgraded wastewater treatment plant, which the town I know is pursuing. You're in the processes of pulling all that together. Then this final document shows you where the sewer manhole is for the point of connection outside of the Stop and Shop in relationship to our site. So it's about 2,000, could be 1,800 feet away from our site, uphill to about this point, and then the Stop and Shop's there. So we are saying that this is probably an insurmountable task in order to make this project happen. And the town wants this project to initiate construction this fall and occupancy next year. So to go the path to attempt to connect to municipal sewer is probably time-wise not going to work. And in our letter to you, we identify in your regulations, you have a set of criteria that say it's infeasible, and so we answer those criteria. I'm getting to the end. So here's a better close-up of the proposed station. And that is the end of the presentation. So I covered an awful lot of material very fast. No, it doesn't want
Right. I guess one question I have is the, I'll call it the auxiliary leach field. That's only currently on paper, not planned unless there is expansion that is necessary from the existing field. Is that correct?
That's correct. So it will. Let's get to it. There it is. Yeah, it meets Title V and it meets the design flow. Can it be built? It can absolutely be built, and it's outside the 100-foot buffer zone, so we don't need, other than to file for the fact that we'd be drilling under a wetland. It's not within the jurisdictional limits of the Conservation Commission. So yes, it meets Title V. It's a reserve system that's just simply not located on the same lot.
And what do you need from us tonight, from the point of view of what needs to be considered for approval?
Well, first
So
off,
these
we've asked,
4 items?
yes, those four, right, there we go. First off, we asked for a design flow of 682 gallons per day as described in our submittal, previous submittal, and we included this documentation in the package. This is what was sent to DEP. Because while we did use Title V flows, we adapted them to the proposed building. So I've been doing, in my office, have been doing public safety facilities for the last 30 years. Just local to Cohasset, I did the Duxbury Fire Station, the Duxbury Police Station, the Old Colony Dispatch Center, Hanson Police Station, Yarmouth Fire Station, the Plymouth Cedarville Fire Station, and we're currently working with Hanson Fire and the Plimpton Fire Department, and all of those are on septic system. Those are just the ones that are local to you. We do these projects, we're specialists in public safety facilities, and we do these projects throughout Massachusetts. Just finished one in Northfield, Massachusetts, up by the Vermont line. We're working in Saugus, we're working in Somerville, so those are sewer systems, but it's all public safety facilities. So we know how to describe using Title V the various flows, and the fact that if you use plain Title V, you're going to generate a flow regime that's much larger than what will ever come out of the actual facility. Because, you know, for a police department, they have an administrative staff, which usually is not very large, and sergeants and people like that pull multiple duties. So you have a sergeant that's an armorer, you have a sergeant that is in charge of, you know, the equipment, et cetera, et cetera. They are also patrol officers, so that they don't occupy those spaces. And most of those spaces inside a police station are occupied infrequently, and they don't generate a whole lot of sanitary flow. Same with the fire department, you know, while they have a bunk room is required by contract, union contract, to have one person in it, not two. In Title V, of course, assumes a bedroom, has two people in it. So it's these kind of trimming of Title V and putting into the categories that they have are something that we're used to doing because we don't
Okay,
want to
so-
design a leach field that's just far too big.
So these are the four items that need to be approved.
Yes.
Okay. What I would probably do at this point is, I think down the road, we'll see how things flow, with the new building as it gets expanded. But I think at this point, from the board, I'd probably ask for questions from the board.
The only question I have is, across 3A to that site, the land that's wet, is that also owned by the town?
Yes.
Okay,
It's a fairly large parcel and I would say 80% of it's wet.
Hmm.
But it
Okay.
was field delineated and then the delineation was reviewed and approved by the Conservation Commission. So, and we did it formally. So that wetlands line has been set for 3 years.
okay.
But that whole piece of property is owned by the town.
It is owned by the town.
Okay. Marcia, any comments?
No questions. Yeah.
There's a lot. I do know that. So,
So then I think if there's no more questions, I think we'll probably start with, I think the simple approval of the design. So I think probably would ask for a motion approved for the alternate design flow of 682 gallons per day for the 135 King Street building as provided by the Places Associate document titled Submittal of On-Site Sewage Disposal System Proposed Public Safety Facility, Police Headquarters and Fire Substation dated August 4, 2025. Is there a motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion. I'll make a motion to approve the use of an alternative design flow of 682 GPD for the 135 King Street building as provided in the Places Associate Inc. document titled Submittal of an On-Site Sewage Disposal System Proposed Public Safety Facility, Police Headquarters and Fire Substation dated August the 4th, 2025.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second,
Roll call vote. Marcia,
Marcia Lewis, I.
Mary,
Mary Goodwin, aye.
Paul Short, aye. Motion passes unanimously, no nay votes. The next one up is, I'll do a quick one on this and I'll make the motion. I'll make a motion to approve the location of a reserve area on a parcel off of Sanctuary Road as presented on Reserve Area Absorption System Plan, Town of Cohasset dated July 2025, as reviewed by the Board of Health, 8/12/2025. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And roll call vote. Mary Goodman,
Mary Goodwin, aye.
Marcia Lewis,
Marcia Lewis, I.
Paul Schubert, aye. Motion passes unanimously, no nay votes. The third item up is to approve basically we're reusing the existing sewage. So I'll do this. I'll make a motion to approve the reuse, approve the reuse the existing sewage disposal system for the proposed public safety facility located at 135 King Street, only as modified to accept the new additions in the proposed reserve area. Is there a second?
Second,
And roll call vote. Marcia,
Marcia Lewis, I.
Mary,
Mary Goodwin, aye.
Paul Schubert, aye. Motion passes unanimously, no nay votes. I think the other, the final item is basically, as with any town design plans and design fees, we typically waive the filing fees for a lot of it from the Title V for town-owned items and town plans. So I'll make a motion to waive all filing fees associated with the Title V related permits. Is there a second?
Second,
Roll call vote. Mary,
Mary Goodwin, aye.
Marcia,
Marcia Lewis, I.
Paul Schubert, aye. Motion passes unanimously. No nay votes. And this is probably going to come back to us, I'm sure, in the future, but for now, I think this gets the items in line for developing the building and getting things started. This is a big project for the town, and it's a location that from the fire department and the police is ideal. So I think this will be a nice addition to the town.
We appreciate it.
So Chief Quigley, it's all yours now.
All right, thank you. It was really great seeing you guys. I miss you all.
It's good to see you as well. You look good.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that was quite a bit there. So we're left now with, we go back to the agenda. We got all the major projects lined up and done. We got the violations down, and now we're left to approval of the minutes from July 8, 2025. Any comments on the minutes?
Oh, they look good.
You're good.
And I'd ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the Board of Public Health, July 8, 2025.
I can do that. I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from July 8th, 2025 of the Board of Public Health.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
And roll call vote. Marcia Lewis,
Marcia Lewis, aye.
Mary Goodwin,
Very good one, aye.
Paul Short, aye, and passes unanimously, no nay votes. Next up is next meeting. So I think we have Labor Day is early this year. So would the following week work, or would you want to do it the week of Labor Day?
Either works for me.
Yeah, I can do either.
Same here. Pam?
Yeah, that's fine for me too. I was just thinking, I understand the reason why Kathleen was saying we could make that suspension for those guys later in September is because if they say, I'd like to appeal, I guess what would happen if somebody wanted to make an appeal and we would say our next meeting is whatever, September 12th or something. And they were supposed to be suspended for 3 days, like we said, 3, 4, 5. I guess we were just like we would tell them, okay, you don't have to be suspended until after the hearing, right? I guess that makes sense logistically.
That's right. It usually would put the suspension on hold with a hearing.
Okay,
Correct.
okay. All
I
right,
mean, the
so I was
other option
thinking,
the other option we could do it if we met on the 2nd, for example, then we could decide then to delay it. But
yeah,
legally,
but
if
then
it's a
that's
hearing,
kinda
it's gonna,
close, so.
yeah, it's close to
Alright.
Labor Day. But ideally, if it's a hearing, then there's an appeal process, and that would automatically delay it.
Okay, all right, so I'm good with whatever you just chose. Would you say September what?
I'm up for either 2nd or the 9th, doesn't matter.
I
Might
think
be
the 9th
easier.
would be okay. We could just tell them you're on hold if that comes up.
Okay, so then September 9th, 6 p.m. And
Yeah.
is everyone still okay with the Zoom protocol meetings?
Yes.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, good. I hate to keep asking that, but at some point I'm sure the state's gonna say we're not gonna be able to do it, so we have to at least allow us to say we really like it. Next up is Public Health Director Report.
I would say right now the biggest thing is our rental housing program. Last Tuesday night, I gave a presentation to the select board to give them an update. And I think just based on the fact that we're not receiving complaints anymore from the preserve, I think it's been a success. So I think what's happening is I think they recognize that there have been people that have complained and have put in like work orders and they haven't been completed. And now that they know what like that those particular units are on their schedule, they're getting ahead of it and going in and, you know, doing some of the work ahead of time. Like I know one person I spoke to said that she had been complaining for a while about a leaking refrigerator, and then suddenly when she was up in her unit, she got a new refrigerator. So, you know, she was questioning their motives, but I feel like, what does that matter? As long as the work's getting done that needs to be done, you know, might be a little cynical, but you know, at least people are getting their units taken care of. So yeah, it's a lot of work. Like Jody and I did 10 today, and we're doing like another 10 Thursday, and we're plowing through them, but I think ultimately it's gonna be really good when we're completed. I know people are gonna have all new safe dryer hoses, and you know, make sure everybody's smoke detectors work, and like I said, I think there's been a lot of chronic things going on up there. They're finally being taken care of. So overall, it's been, I think, a successful program.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Any
Thank
comments?
you both for all the extra work that's gone into it.
Yeah, it may seem like nothing's getting done, but if the complaint levels are way down, that kind
It's
of
working.
makes it worthwhile.
Definitely.
So next up, public health nurse report. What do you got?
Well, so I think Pam's right. It is working well, the rental program. And I think it's, in addition to the preserve, everything's much better up there, but we're also seeing individual, rental properties throughout town where we are finding violations and they are quickly fixing them. So I think it works for everybody. I don't have a ton to report. I just wanted to mention that I did reach out today to Plymouth County Mosquito Control and request some spraying through some of the public areas in town, Barnesfield, Town Hall, the Commons across the street, Light Keepers, and then the stretch from the library around Sawyer Street to the rec center. So hopefully that helps. Camps are done at the rec center, and we have one this week at Equal Justice across the street at the First Parish Church. That's just a week-long camp. After that, I imagine in the next week or two, we'll be getting our first shipment of flu vaccine, so we'll be jumping right into scheduling clinics throughout town. That's it.
Excellent. So you're getting the flu vaccines relatively fast.
Well, typically they come, last year they came the third week in August. So if we're on schedule, I haven't heard otherwise yet, then I can expect them probably by the end of the month.
Okay, good. Because I was worried because of the delay in the recommendations that it may be delayed in production, but
Yeah,
Good.
we haven't gotten any notification yet, so.
So who
I guess
would have
time
made the
will tell.
recommendations? Would that have been left up to various boards and the pharmaceutical companies themselves
The recommendations for,
for the flu vaccine?
apparently nothing's been made at a higher level yet, so I'm not sure.
yeah, I mean, they probably took the World Health Organization recommendations for the serotypes. And my bet is they may have already been producing them through the WHO recommendations. That's good.
Yeah.
Good. Any other comments from the board?
One other question for Joan, regarding the mosquito spraying. Will there be a public notification? How does that work?
So it goes up on Plymouth County's website. They every day update their list of what will be sprayed the following day in what towns. So it
But
is
for
available.
Cohasset, I was thinking about Cohasset residents.
I mean, I could certainly post it on the website tomorrow. I requested it today, so I'm not sure. Is it going to happen tomorrow night? I find out by looking at the website myself, so I can put out notification that's been requested, but I don't have specific dates.
Or maybe when you do have specific dates, it might be a good idea to post, right?
Yeah, which I can, but again, it comes out the day before, like saying, this is going to happen on these streets tomorrow. So I'll keep an eye on it, but.
Thanks.
And then I guess we should also post, Pam, although I think it's in your memo from the state that residents can privately request, spraying of their own property as well.
Yeah, that was in the memo from the state that Kevin posted to Classic 143 and the government Facebook thing, and also his like Chris's weekly report on Fridays. So that info did get out there.
Oh, sorry. Any other comments from the board?
No, sounds good.
Okay.
So Pam, did you want to refer to this Public Health Council meeting?
What is that?
You included in the documents that were circulated a notification about Public Health Council, Massachusetts Department of Public Health. There's a meeting tomorrow that's going to be held remotely by video conference.
I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
Actually, I think I downloaded it from the email. It was one of the notifications. Actually, I had made note of it. Let me see if I can find it. So it was posted on mass.gov as Public Health Council meeting, August 13th, 2025, Wednesday, August 13th, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And it's, just says the August 13 Public Health Council meeting will be held remotely as a video conference consistent with statute 2021 C20 S20. I mean, I can send around the link, but Robbie Goldstein is giving an update. And then there are a couple of other agenda items. The last being a discussion and roundtable Q&A on vaccines. So it's just kind of, and I thought that was something that you had circulated, but maybe not. It's strange.
Yeah, I don't have it on my calendar, and Joni and I are booked to do more inspections at a different building tomorrow on Jerusalem Road. It's like a
Okay, well,
7-unit facility or something like that. So yeah, I didn't really know anything about it.
okay, I'm gonna send around the link anyway, but I was actually planning to attend. I hope it doesn't go full 3 hours. It's kind of long, but I definitely wanted to hear Robbie Goldstein speak, and I wanted to hear about the, situation with vaccinations. So I probably will attend, and I can apprise the group of any important things that come out of that. Although I assume there'll be minutes issued.
Yeah, is it, do you know, do they tape the meeting?
Doesn't
Probably
say.
don't know. It'd be nice just to kind of review it. I can review
Yeah.
it tomorrow night.
Um,
Maybe not. They'll come out with the minutes.
yeah, they don't say here. But I'll send you all the link right now.
Great, thanks.
Sure.
Any other comments? Okay, well, thank you for that. And at this point, if there's no more comments, I don't have anything in the last 24 hours that I've heard about. So I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
And roll call vote. Mary,
Mary Goodwin, aye.
Marcia,
Marcia Lewis, I.
Paul Schubert, aye, and we are adjourned. Thanks, everyone. See you next month.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Night.